Good morning, this is Dwayne, and today we're going to take a look at Amazing Grace and take a look at how easy it is to play it because it just has 3 chords in it. You've probably heard me say that there's thousands of songs literally that just have 3 chords. They're called the primary chords of any key. For example, if I was in the key of C, which is based on the scale of C like that, the primary chords are the C chord, that's home bass or the root chord, and I form it just by playing a root third and fifth up from the root, okay? So that's called the 1 chord in the key of C. Another prominent chord, another primary chord, is the 4 chord. So I count up 1, 2, 3, 4 and build a chord there. So that's called the 4 chord in the key of C. And the other chord that's used a great deal is the 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I count up 5 notes and form a chord right there. So the primary chords in the key of C are 1, 4, and 5. And with those 3 chords I can play lots of songs, okay? Now, if I was in the key of F, however, then those wouldn't be the 1, 4, or 5 chords, would they? They would be based on the scale of F, which goes like that. And I won't get into why there's a B flat in the key of F. You can look that up. I've covered that many, many times. But in any case, here's the F scale. So the 1 chord is built on F. The 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, is built on the 4th note of the scale. And the 5 chord is built on the 5th note of the scale. Okay? So if I just play 1, 4, and 5, I can play Amazing Grace. And I'm going to play it through just to show you how easy it is, okay? If I pick out the melody on F. One chord. Five chord. 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. Okay? Now, fortunately, we don't have to play chords in root position. They don't have to be played with the root on the bottom. So, there's the 1 chord in F. An easier way to play the 4 chord is just to keep my finger on F, little finger on F, and move up to B flat and D. And that's called an inversion of the B flat chord. So there's the F chord, there's the 4 chord, B flat, and the 5 chord is right there, the C chord. Okay, so I can play 1, 4, 5, 1, all without moving my hand very much. Watch me do it. Now, I'm not limited to that, however, am I? That's a very easy way for a beginner to pick out Amazing Grace, but you're probably more advanced or you probably wouldn't be watching this. So I'm going to show you a couple more advanced ways, okay? First, in the left hand, instead of just holding the note, I can chord it. I could go something like that, okay? Now, I can also put chords under the right-hand melody, can't I? So it sounds a little fuller there, okay? Now, as you advance, you'll learn to put in color tones. So I could add a 6. There's a 6 to the F chord. And I could also syncopate it. Added a 7th. So on like that, okay? Now, I could eventually get to the place where I could play it by combining all that stuff, added notes and substitute chords and so on. I could play it in a full-blown style, maybe like this. And that's kind of a rhythmic style, but I could play in a flowing style too, couldn't I? In other words, I'm not limited to one style or another. Once I know those chords and know the principles of adding chord substitutions and color tones and so on, the sky's really the limit in arranging a song. Now, am I limited to just playing it in the key it's written in? I think it's probably written in the key of F. I haven't looked it up lately, but but I could play it in any key, couldn't I? As long as I know those three chords. Let's say I wanted to play it in the key of E flat. Well, first I'd have to know the scale of E flat, and then figure out the primary chords in the key of E flat, which would be the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, right? So I could play it in E flat. And so on, like that. Or I could play in several keys, couldn't I? I could start in E flat, I could go to F, I could go to G, all kinds of things. And I won't demonstrate that, but I just want you to know the possibilities are endless for, yes, hopefully it'll motivate you to learn different keys and chord substitutions and color tones and arranging and so on. Anyway, that's my little tip to today, actually a challenge to you to learn as much as you can so that you can have more fun at the piano as you play and be of more use to people too. So thanks for being with me, and we'll excuse me, we'll see you tomorrow with another little short video like this. Bye bye for now.